Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to tackle one of the biggest questions out there. Really fundamental. Where do we all come from?
So let's just dive right in with a question I bet almost everyone has asked at some point. Who was the first human? That one person, our Adam or Eve.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. The answer, well, it's not a person. It's not a name you can look up. The answer is a process. It turns out, looking for that single first human kind of means we're asking the wrong question to begin with.
So, to really wrap our heads around this, we've got to shift how we think about time itself. Our origin story, it's not a single event. Think of it more like a long, flowing continuum.
Yeah, this really breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you've got the idea we often have in our heads, this single event. One moment, one person, and bam, a human appears. But the reality, what science shows us, is on the other side. It's this slow, gradual, totally unbroken chain of parents and children, stretching back for millions of years. And get this, each generation was just a tiny bit different from the one before it.
All right, so if it's a long story, then every good story needs characters, right? Let's meet some of the main players in our epic family narrative.
Okay, first up, Homo erectus. Now, these weren't modern humans like us, not by a long shot, but they are a huge chapter in our story. We're talking almost 2 million years ago. They were some of the very first of our ancestors to walk fully upright and start spreading out across the ancient world. So yeah, they are an absolutely critical part of our lineage.
And then there's us, Homo sapiens, modern humans. We show up on the scene way later, around 300,000 years ago. And as of today, we're the only branch of that huge, sprawling human family tree that's still around.
Okay, so let's put these guys on a timeline, because seeing it laid out like this really helps you grasp the incredible, mind-boggling scale of this whole journey.
Wow, yeah, this really shows you the sheer passage of time, doesn't it? Just look at that gap between Homo erectus and us, Homo sapiens. That's over 1.5 million years. It's incredible. And then look how close our arrival is to the time of a common ancestor for all living men. It just goes to show we're a pretty recent chapter in a very old book.
But a timeline like this isn't just about dates and numbers. It actually has this profound power to change how we see ourselves and our place in the grand scheme of things. So what does it all mean? Well, if there was no single first human, that means there was never a moment where our ancestors suddenly stopped being, well, them and started being us. Every single one of them, stretching all the way back in time, is part of one single collective identity. It's all our story. Just think about it for a second. Every single person in that long chain had parents they would have recognized, right? There was never a baby born that was so radically different its parents wouldn't have seen it as their own. So there's no clear dividing line, just one long, continuous, and totally unbroken family story. Okay, so why does any of this ancient history matter to you today, right now? What's the real takeaway from understanding we have this incredible shared heritage?
Well, what it means is that every single person alive today, I don't care where you live, what you look like, what you believe, every one of us is part of this exact same long-standing story. This shared history is one of the most powerful, profound things that unifies all of humanity. It connects every last one of us.
Here's another way to think about it. Your personal story, it didn't start the day you were born. Nope. You are the latest living, breathing chapter of a story that began millions of years ago. It was carried forward by countless ancestors who survived who knows what kind of challenges, just to pass that story on to you.
And that's really the big thought we want to leave you with today. When you realize you're part of this ancient, unbroken line that connects you to every single human who has ever lived, how does that change the way you see your own story?